Good evening. The March 2025 Dickenson County School Board meeting is now in session. For the record, I'd like to recognize that all of our school board members are here except for Mr. Rasnick, Tanya Baker, School Board Clerk, and Haiti Robinson, Division Superintendent. At this time, will you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? Board members, we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Hicks, there are no items to the agenda. I would like to clarify that Mr. Rasnick asked to participate remotely in our meeting, which would take board approval, and we tried several times to reach him, and we don't know if the procedure was more serious today. So I do apologize that he cannot join us tonight.
Okay, thank you. Hearing no additions or revisions to the agenda, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? So moved.
Second.
Moved in a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That brings us to our public comment section. Mr. Hackney, will you please read the guidelines for public comment? And Ms. Martin, will you please be our timekeeper?
A period of time for public comment will be designated on the meeting agenda during which the public may comment on issues related to public education. The Dickenson County School Board believes that the citizens of the county should be heard and that this is an acceptable format for receiving public comment. After the public comment of the meeting is closed, the public shall not be allowed to participate in general board member discussions regarding agenda items. Public participation with the board members regarding agenda items can be disruptive, and the practice is prohibited by Robert's Rules of Order. It is the desire of the school board to treat each member of the public fairly and equally. Allowing one individual to participate while excluding others is unfair. The board may hold such public hearings as may be necessary to allow the public to more fully express their concerns, or the board may place a public comment section of any meeting at the end of the meeting to allow additional public comment. While we do not wish to restrict the free expression of opinion, we feel that certain restrictions may be necessary so that order and reasonable standards of decorum may be maintained. We ask that the following standards be adhered. The speaker will be recognized by the chair. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers will refrain from the use of vulgarity or profanity and will avoid negative or embarrassing comments directed towards specific children or students. Board members should not respond to issues presented by speakers unless clarification is necessary. Matters of concern raised under public comment will be referred to the proper official for investigation and future board consideration if necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Hackney. I would like to recognize Mr. Short, BPE. I don't see a light, so I don't think it's on. Now maybe.
Light on now.
There you are.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Ms. Robinson, first of all, the daffodils were beautiful out there when I was driving in. I know you all see them a lot. Good luck on the cold weather on those, but they are beautiful. The second thing, this will take at least 5 minutes, maybe not. What a diversity of talent Ridgeview has. I just mentioned the back-to-back state champion of the academics team. All of these have a special place in my heart. My my son was really a great academics performer, and he was pretty sharp. Notice I said my son was. The Beta Club and their success is amazing. And, you know, the special place in my heart there is I never had grades good enough to be in the Beta Club. So that's, so I'm on the other side of that. But then you have vocational education in the Skills Center. What skills we're producing in Dickenson County, and not just at the Skills Center, but marketing and DECA. You have a national DECA competitor. And marketing was my forte when I taught in Wise County, and I had some national competitors in DECA. It's a great experience. Each one of these are great experiences and create fantastic memories. And you have the robotics team as well. And, you know, the Lady Pack basketball team made it to the Final Four in another year. And, you know, I coached girls basketball. Never made it that far in 11 years. So all of those, every single thing that I have mentioned has created a specific memory that they're going to carry on the rest of their lives. Of course, every day at school, there are memories that are created. So I just congratulate all of those winners and the success that they have had. And I know that Ridgeview folks are really proud of them.
Thank you, Mr. Short. I'd like to recognize Ms. Phyllis Mullins with DEA.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here, and I won't be able to stay too long because I have the family engagement, and I hope that most of you can come by for a few minutes, maybe on break or something, and just check us out, see what we've got. We're going to have our robots out and things like that. We're still waiting to hear from the governor and all that good stuff, so hopefully, and we can look forward to a lot of good things. And I know that we've got a lot of good things going on here at Ridgeview, and we're going to showcase a bunch of it tonight, and I appreciate everything that you all do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mullins. Have anyone else signed up for public comment? Is there anybody who would like to make public comment? All right. Which will bring us to our next agenda item is the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes, the approval of monthly invoices, revenues and expenditure summary, discussion of school activity funds, approval of field trips, approval of new elementary school construction invoices, the approval of the bank or construction bank reconciliation document, and the Dickenson County Public Schools Health Statement account. Are there any questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Our next agenda item is information for the school board. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, board members. Just a couple of items on the information for the board. Of course, the April 17th, 2015 April Hot Topic Conference, the Trust Edge Experience. Again, if you're interested in serving or attending that, please call Tanya Baker, and she will be glad to make all of the arrangements for you. The next one is the April 29th, 2025 BSBA Spring Regional Meeting and Champions for Impact. And Mr. Hicks, I'll refer to you if you'd like to add any comments on that.
Well, as you guys know, that Ridgeview is hosting the DSB Spring Regional this year, which will be held at the Higher Ed Center in Abington. I've already signed you all up, so you've already made a commitment. We appreciate that. And so we've got a lot of our students are going to take part in that, and so it should be a great time and a good time to show off to the entire region, our folks here at students at Ridgeview. So I look forward to seeing you there. All right. So, Mr. Robinson, you now good news from our schools.
Yes, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to welcome all of our guests and our students and our staff members. This is probably our favorite part of the meeting, where we really get to recognize the achievements of our students and all the time that our staff and everyone puts into everything. And so as we call your name and your group, we'd like for you to come up. Board members, if you'd like to join me here in front of the stage, that would be great, so that you can shake our students. And I think I saw Mr. Owens. Mr. Owens, would you like to come up, please? And if any other of your administrators are here, please welcome them up here to the stage area too. Mr. White, are you here, sir? Good. And as we call your name, if you'll come to the front, please, and then shake our board member's hand. I know that they want to congratulate you, and also Mr. Owens's hand, and then please just stand here in front, and we'll have someone take your picture so that you will have that. Mr. White, I want you to see, at Christmas, our volleyball team won the state, and we had a nice gift for them. And then I happened to look at Mr. White's face, and, like, okay. So I promised him, that we would have something very nice to recognize our back-to-back state scholastic winners. And so if I may, yes, let's give them a round of applause. So as I call your name, if you will please come to the front to receive your plaque for being back-to-back state winners. Cameron Deal. Sophie Greer. Piper Ward. Jolie Cronkite. Did I say that correctly? Can you imagine being back-to-back winners? Daniel Greer. Did we say we are going to clone Daniel, Mr. White, or what are we doing? Come on. You hadn't heard about that yet. Here we go. Congratulations. Julia Casterline. Doe Gilliam. Alex Smith. Tiger Moore. Did I say that correctly? Ren Brown. Becca Farmer Fuller. Congratulations. So proud of you. Sadie Lyle. Now, while this is the high school, Miss Fuller and Miss Lyle are 8th graders. So let's give them a round of applause. Can you imagine? Doe Gilliam. Oh, I'm sorry. I just called that. And then, of course, we can't forget our fantastic coaches, Adrian White, head coach. Would you come to the front, please? Is this okay? And Thomas Holden Dingus. Mr. Dingus. Let's see. Denisha, could you get a picture? Or okay. Mr. White or Mr. Dingus, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. I actually had something wrote up, so I guess I'll get it out and I'll say it. I got a little bit of a cold, so please excuse if I cough or whatever. Thank you all for having us, Ms. Robinson and the board. I want to thank everybody who made the season possible, Holden for putting up with my crazy ideas and things I want. Special thanks to Jordan and Kern, who's a middle school coach. I also want to mention Piper Ward is also an 8th grader. So, So we had, and Becca and Sadie actually started in the state championship matches. So I want to thank our parents. I can ask for any better from you guys. All the faculty that talk to our kids, encourage our kids, the state send-off, thank you very much. Like I said, last year was amazing. Like, how could we top it? Well, we did. Which is just crazy. Because of Daniel and his brilliance and the rest of the hard work of everybody else. Here's a list of our accomplishments this year. Legion Memorial Tournament winner, State Line Tourney winner, Academia Tourney winner, Tornado Tournament winner. We had a thing called a Grail, which we answered every single question in the match, and the other team didn't answer any questions. And that's not happened in 5 or 6 years. Mountain Season regular season champions 3 years in a row. Mountain 7 tournament champions 3 years in a row. Region champion 2 years in a row. And this year, 21-0 perfect record for state championship back-to-back. Daniel was also National Player of the Week, first team All-District, Mountain 7 Player of the Year, first team All-District, Region Player of the Year, solo tournament champion held last week. And on top of that, Alex Smith was the JV solo tourney champion, and he placed second overall in the varsity division also. So I like to say that we've developed a culture, I think, that's include working hard and having fun. And winning really is contagious. And these guys just work so hard. And I always tell them this year, be you, because that's good enough. And look what it's got us. I'm very proud of them. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. Will our parents of these state champions please stand and also be recognized? Parents, please, you have a big part in this. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Our next group that we would like to recognize is our Lady Ridgeview Wolfpack basketball team, and I'd like to ask our coaches, I think I saw Mr. Robinette here. Mr. Robinette, if you'll come to the front, please. And any other coaches that are here. Okay. Mr. Sutherland and another Mr. Robinette. Okay, and Dr. Compton, who's on his way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our back-to-back state Final Fours. Now think about that, back-to-back state Final Four. Some of our ladies could not be here today. They're involved in track, and they're involved in other things this afternoon, but we certainly want to take this occasion to recognize them. Coach, if you'd like to come and shake everyone's hand. First, Kaylee Sykes. Kaylee, oh good, Kaylee. Kaylee is first team All-Mountain 7, first team All-Region, second team All-State. Kaylee? Okay, thank you. Sydney Counts? Okay. Softball. Maybe I need to. Sega Mullins, second team All-Mountain 7. Thank you. Okay. Danica Sutherland. Danica, oh yay! If you'll come please to the front. If you had the pleasure of watching these girls play, exciting. Danica, congratulations. And just come and greet everyone. Kaya Perry, second team All-Mountain 7. Thank you. Hadaya Abshire, second team All-Mountain 7. Thank you. Mackenzie Wright, first team All-Mountain 7, second team All-Region. Thank you. And Carly Sykes. Thank you. She is. Coach Robinette, would you like to say a few words, sir?
No, you give Mr. White the mic. We'd just like to thank the community and the school board. I think I saw all the school board members at the game, and if we lost, Coach Vanover would text me and tell me what we should do wrong. I still call him Coach Vanover, but seeing Miss Robinson at the games, the school board members, and we really appreciate it. There was no good night. I really wanted all the girls to be here because they like to dress up, but we encourage all of our girls to play all sports. I tell them to play anything they want, go out for anything, and that's why our sports are successful. So the only other thing we could have done was had on in a month on Wednesday, and they're going to be at the track meet there too. So we hate they couldn't be here, but we're very blessed. I'm very blessed to be able to do this. It's most fun I've had the last 2 years coaching them my whole life. I'm tired, but we just thank the community the way y'all came out. Had a great staff. Dr. Compton, he's hiding, and Mike Gully and other great staff couldn't be here tonight because he's out of town. But and Miss Martin too, she's always giving me a hard time about how rough we play. I told her we play like her, but we thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Would our parents, any of our basketball girls' parents, if you're here, would you please stand? Oh, Mr. Sullivan, if you'll please stand, let's give them a round of applause.
And Danica, if you'll stand right here in the middle, okay? Come on, I'll stand with you, okay? And yeah, that's right. And if coaches, if you'll come in and.
Her match was last night. Tennis was last night. That's why she's here tonight.
These pictures too. Okay.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Ms. Edwards to come to the front at this time. We have our U.S. Skills Contest every year, which our career and technical students get to participate. And this year, they not only participated, but they also came home with first and second place winners. And as a matter of fact, we have one state winner who's going to nationals, and we've never had that, so we are pleased. At this time, automotive service, technology, Colton Ramey, district champion in automotive service technology, instructor Scott Anderson. I'm so glad you're here. And Ms. Edwards, our Director of Career Technical. Congratulations. If you'll just shake everyone's hands here. If we need our cars fixed, this is the person we need to see. In welding, we have 3 first place winners. I believe that's correct. Isabella Sayers. Yay! Hayden Sutherland. Welcome. Congratulations. And Dylan Fleming won first place in U.S. Skills. And Mr. Ben Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, would you come to the front, please? Is he here? Come on, Mr. Kennedy. And Mr. Anderson, I'm sorry. You needed to be up here. I apologize. Congratulations. I'm sorry, Mr. Anderson. You come up. Congratulations, sir. Oh. Were you hoping I wouldn't call you, but Ben made you come? Is that? Congratulations. In carpentry, Mr. Edwards could not be here today due to illness, but he has 2 winners, Jacob Hill and Clayton Hickman. Jacob achieved 2nd and 3rd place, and Jacob will be attending the state championship in April. Again, their instructor is Mr. Devin Edwards. Congratulations, gentlemen. Yes, they're both there. Congratulations. Very proud. You're going to have Does he get one? Okay. In cosmetology, they could not attend, but their total fantasy look, 2nd place, perhaps they're here, Maddie Baker, Scotland Bowens, and Reagan Justice. Oh, good. Wonderful. Miss Phillips, are you here? Congratulations. And that completes all of our U.S. Skills winners. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes. And if you'll move over here to the center, teachers, and a little bit closer. I did who? Who? Oh my God. Thank you, Ms. Baker. And there's one that I left. Catherine Kaiser for nails. Catherine, would you come up to the front, please? And I am so sorry. It was, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yes, Catherine Kaiser, right here it is, and Valerie Hill for nails. Nail care, second place. And since you need to stand right in here, okay? All right, you ready? Our photographer has to. And if any of our parents are here, especially, would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again, Tanya. Just overlooked that one. Our Beta Club winners. Any of our Beta Club members are here? Okay, great. Beta Club winners, if you'll please come to the front. Miss Hall, are you here? Okay, come on up, Miss Hall. And if any other of your sponsors are here, please welcome them to come. Completing term as Virginia Senior Beta State Secretary, Reese Lampkin. Reese, are you here? Okay. Let's give her a round. 25-26 State Secretary, Cohen Powers. Cohen, congratulations. Now this is at the state level. Beta Club has also achieved this year second place club trading pin, first place living literature, The Last Sin Eater, Lexi Stallard, Maddie Baker, if you'll come to the front please, Samara Baker, Tia Shaver, Shelton Mullins, Ty Powers, and Anderson Robinson. If you'll please come to the front to be recognized. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, these are state winners. They compete with students all across the state. Congratulations. As all of these students that we've recognized today. And then second place in language arts, Tiger Moore. And second place in poetry, Reese Lampkin. Congratulations. So proud of you. Yes, thank you. Ms. Hall, would you like to say anything?
I just want to thank the school board members for your support of Beta through the years. Since Ridgeview has been open, we have had a state officer elected every year but one. So I think that's a pretty awesome achievement. Cohen plans to run for national secretary this summer in Orlando, so we're excited about that. And I have to brag on the kids, especially Living Lit. We literally had 1 week to get our stuff together for this. Normally we take the whole month of January and stay after school and work. We had that last week of January, that was it. And they came together and I said, okay, here's our idea. Y'all make it happen, and they did. So I'm very proud of that. I also have to thank co-sponsors, Ms. Powers, Tiffany Kennedy, Ms. Edwards, Ms. Jones, Mr. David Brown O'Quinn. I'm probably leaving somebody out, but And Dennis Kennedy has been our bus driver for the last 2 years. We're very thankful for him. But I also have to thank you, parents that trust us to take your kids to Hampton, Virginia overnight, and sometimes to nationals, which can be hours and hours away. We'll be in Orlando this summer. So just thank you for trusting us and letting them come with us and have a wonderful time and represent Ridgeview.
And if we have our parents here of our Beta Club, if you'll stand, please, to be recognized. Parents? Thank you, thank you. All right, let's get our picture made. Our next group that we would like to recognize is our robotics team. And I'd like to ask if Ms. Tiller or Mr. Tiller are here. If you'll please come to the front. Mr. Owens is also a sponsor of this group. Okay. He's our main guy. So, not my words, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize our robotics team members. Leland Compton. Okay, thank you. Jolie Cronkite. And Jolie, I'm sorry we couldn't get, yeah. Lily Hale. Jackson McFall. Ethan Moore. Richard Namath. I think I said that right. Did I? Ryan O'Quinn, track meet, and our instructors, Jesse Tiller, Sean Tiller, and Chris Owens. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me to recognize our robotics team?
And Ms. Tiller, would you like to tell us about our wings?
Oh, I'll try to. Okay. So this year, and our robot's sitting back there, we went into a completely different league with the robotics team. It's a lot larger than what we have built in the past. And the game is released the beginning of January. And we had a couple months to get it built, but as everyone knows, we missed the basically entire first month of January. So in our team of 7, we only had 2 students who had done robots before. So we were all kind of learning this together, and they stepped up incredibly well. They won their first competition. Like, we've got a plaque, we've got a banner that's supposed to be mailed to us. And I'm so proud of them, just because it's, like I said, it's a new competition and they had never done it before. And then we had 2 weeks before the next competition. If you look at the stats, it doesn't look like they done as well, but in those 2 weeks, they put an entirely new part on the robot. They programmed it so they could get more points. If you look at how they performed individually, they increased from the last competition. So it's a win in my book, even though it doesn't really look like it. But they done super well. And like I said, I'm just really proud of them.
Yeah, this is a good bunch. They won the first competition, and it's tough. We've had a team over at the college at Southwest for 7 or 8 years, and we haven't won a competition yet. So they've done really good. They had to learn all the programming by themselves, right? Because we don't know how to do it. I got a software engineer. That works at CGI that helps us. I'm proud of them. I look forward to continuing it. It costs some more and it's a little more time, but I expect big things, right? First year, Blue Banner, next year, state championship, right? That's where we go. Yeah, all right.
Let's give them a round of applause.
sorry, Board. Hold on.
We have one more. And this is a very special one. And while I'm getting this, I'd just like to say one thing. Wherever our students go, and Ms. Children, I was going to ask you to share this, but I will for you. Wherever our students go and wherever they are in whatever competition, this is what I get, not only from the sponsors, but from the people that are there. Ridgeview students are a class of their own. They have class, they have grace, they represent your school so well, Mrs. Robinson, and they represent the community, and I wanted to share that. And as a superintendent and as a principal, no words are greater than your students just outdid themselves, and we just thank you. We wanted to let you know. So we're so proud of their accomplishments. Catherine Kaiser. Catherine, would you come up, please? Catherine has the opportunity to compete in Retail Merchandising Series event at the DECA International Career Development Conference in Orlando, Florida. The dates are April the 25th through April the 30th. Catherine is excited about the opportunity to compete at nationals, to say the least. Her event will require to take a 100-question time test, retail merchandising role play 1 and role 2 at the national level. There could be a third play if her scores of all categories are mixed for the top finalists. This is Catherine's 3rd year competing in DECA. She has placed first every year in her event at local competitions. She has competed at the state level 3 years in a row. Catherine's sophomore year at state competition, she finished 20th in her event. In her junior year, she competed at state, but she didn't place at the top 20. But that didn't stop her. Catherine finished 14th in her category. This year, she finished 14th in her category and received a DECA medal for having the high score of 98 on her role play. And Chris Robinson writes, awesome. In the event, approximately 90 to 100 students from the state of Virginia will compete in her event. But not only that, Catherine will be the first Ridgeview High School student, DECA student, to compete at the ICDC event. Would you please help me to recognize Catherine Kaiser?
Did you shake everybody's hand? No, not yet. Yeah, not yet.
Okay, so I've never done this before. I've never talked to anybody. I know a lot of people left right now, but I really wanted to say that I couldn't have done this without Coach Rob, and I know he's not here, but it meant a lot to me, and I'm so glad he talked me into doing it my sophomore year, even though I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. And I've had a great time doing this, and I thought my journey was over at state, but turns out it's not, and I'm really excited for this opportunity and for all the people who've helped me out to get to this point. And yeah, just thank you to everybody and to our community. That's all.
And if you know Coach Robinson, he would have been here regardless. He's had surgery, and he could not be here, but that's the only reason he's not here. I'm surprised he's not, but he could not attend with us, but he would have. So, please give me a round of applause for all our winners. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Owens. Thank you, board members. Thank you, parents, and thank you, everyone, for attending our meeting. Mr. Hicks, I think we're ready for Miss Martin and her report at this time, sir.
All right. Ms. Martin, follow that.
Come on. I literally just looked at Mr. Short and said, I always have to follow that, and I always feel bad. That was fantastic. Good evening, board members. I do have good news to share with you tonight about attendance and enrollment. In your packet, as always, you have the attendance percentages, the comparison for the last 4 years, the calls, the absence intervention team notes, and this month I do have a picture for you as well. Our enrollment does show an increase of 2 students. This is for the month of February. We show 1,708 students for K through 12, 79 students in pre-K, 3-year-old and postgraduate, for a total of 1,787 students. For the month for the attendance percentage, the highest, once again, goes to Ridgeview High School with 90.21%, with Ridgeview Elementary School following a close behind with 89.46%, and for the month, the district is at 90.83%. An update on our chronic absenteeism. This is great news. I wanted to share this with you. Comparing, and I apologize that it's cutting out, comparing what we were at this time last year to what we are this year with our chronic absenteeism. Ridgeview Elementary School shows an 8% decrease, I guess is a better way to look at that, or an 8% improvement. The middle school is showing a 4% improvement, and the high school is showing an 8% improvement. So we're tickled to see that. Absence intervention teams do continue to meet each month and work on, right now we're working on family engagements, and then shortly, I wanted to share with you, there'll be new billboards up within the next couple of weeks. Any questions at this point about attendance or enrollment? Thank you for your time.
So our next agenda item is the approval of the FY26 proposed budget. Ms. Ed, please.
As Ms. Edwards is coming down, I'd just like to say that there is a lively competition between all the schools on the attendance, led primarily by the principal at Ridgeview High School, so who sometimes rubs it in or something of that nature. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, congratulations. Welcome, Ms. Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start out by reminding everybody on March the 12th, Wednesday, March the 12th, 2025, we held a budget workshop with the Dickenson County School Board here at Ridgeview Middle School. The proposed fiscal year 26 budget for Dickenson County Public Schools was presented as follows: a total budgeted revenue of $32,019,688, with an average daily membership estimate of 1,655 children. The total budgeted revenue is broken down as follows: state revenue, $21,903,226, federal revenue, $3,227,969. Our local appropriation request is $5,505,637. Other grants and revenues totals $424,400. Our carryover estimates at this time total $958,456. Our expenditures are estimated at salaries and wages being $16,959,925. Our payroll-related expenditure items are estimated at $10,842,629. And our non-payroll related expenditures are estimated at $4,259,925. $217,133. Highlights within our budget for fiscal year '26 include a 3% plus step salary increase for all of our full-time staff of Dickenson County Public Schools, as well as an average of 3% increase for all of our part-time staff. And also a one-time $1,000 stipend for all full-time staff of Dickenson County Public Schools, which we expect to be paid in June of 2025. The proposed fiscal year '26 budget was presented a second time here at Ridgeview Middle School on Wednesday, March the 19th. There were no changes in the expected revenue at that meeting. And as of today, March the 26th, 2025, there continue to be no changes in expected revenue. We do know that the governor has begun making amendments to the General Assembly's budget, and the General Assembly is back in session working through those amendments now with the governor. And at this time, nothing's been finalized yet, but we'll keep you posted if we hear anything else. So, are there any questions on the budget?
Might have failed to, excuse me, I might have failed to ask last week, but were we able to include, and I imagine that we have, the retirement incentive within this budget? I don't know if I overlooked it or didn't see it, but I think that it had been every year.
The retirement incentive?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's here.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was just making sure that I probably overlooked it last week.
Yeah, I think when I looked at it, I think we had 16 or 17 at this time, Tanya. Yeah, but it's included.
Ms. Edwards, could you tell us where that is on the budget, on the proposed budget?
Yeah, we have retiree health care credit. It's under the non-payroll or the payroll-related expenditures.
It's page 3, Mr. Hackney, of 4 in the budget.
Okay, any further questions?
Again, retiree health, where is that?
It's under the payroll-related expenditures.
Okay. Health insurance.
Any further questions? All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Hicks, we recommend the board's approval of this proposed budget.
So do I hear a motion to approve the FY26 proposed DCPS budget as presented?
So moved.
Moved. Do I have a second? Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Next is the approval of the 25 and 26 school calendar. Mrs. Deal.
Good evening. I wanted to share with you some information about what we've been working on for our 25-26 school calendar. Just to give you some information about how we formed it. In preparation for developing it, we presented the option 1 and option 2 calendar, and this is in your board packets under the orange tab if you want to look at it. We presented these two options, option 1 and option 2, to our school principals and central office directors at our February administrative meeting. We had some discussion of it. We encouraged the principals and directors there to make comments, make suggestions, or maybe even come up with a third option for us to consider. After a couple of weeks, we didn't have any other suggestions and we didn't have any other options for us to consider, so we moved forward with our two options that we had. On March 5th, I sent out an email with a link to a survey. It was sent to all DCPS faculty and staff, and the link allowed the faculty and staff to vote for their favorite calendar option. The calendar survey ended on March 14th. I sent out a reminder to all the staff to let them know that it was getting ready to close, the day and the time that it was going to close. We ended up having 183 surveys collected from faculty and staff. You have both of those calendar options in your packets if you want to look at them. As you can see, option 1 received the most votes with 61.5% of those votes being to option 1, and option 2 only received 38.5% of the votes. Really, the only difference between the two calendars was how we split the spring break, the week that we have there for spring or Easter break. And the option that was the most favorable was the same type that we had this year, having the split, having 2 4-day weekends instead of 1 long break. Most of our staff prefer that. So I'd like to ask you all to approve option 1 for our 25-26 Dickenson County Public Schools school calendar.
I'll move to approve the option 1 as presented.
Motion or a second? I'll second it. Motion and a second. Any discussions or any questions for Ms. Deal? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Deal.
Thank you.
Next is the approval of the proposed VSB policies. Ms. Martin.
Good evening again, board members. Earlier last week, we emailed you 26 policies. The majority of these are simple updates, legal references, cross-references. Some have been revised for clarity. There's one that's just an exhibit or a form, JFCA-F. One policy was deleted due to the body of that policy is encompassed in many other policies. That's IKG. That was not included with the policies that I sent you. That's just for your knowledge. The 2 policies that I'd like to go over with you this evening are new policies. Both of these policies are optional, and so we just need some guidance on these to move forward. JOD and JODF, which is release of student data, and the form that would be relative to that request. Again, this is optional. I'd like to read the first paragraph to give you an understanding of this policy. The parent legal guardian of any student enrolled in Dickenson County Public School Division may authorize the release of the student's data/records to any individual or agency upon completion and execution of the board's adopted standardized form, JOD-F, consent form authorizing release of student data records accompanying this policy. This form must be completed by community policies and management teams, the Department of Health and Social Services, Juvenile Justice, Behavioral Health, and Developmental Services. This form may be used by other teams, department, and services. Basically, it would be the equivalent of what special ed uses when they have families sign a release to allow us access to records, but this would encompass all students, is what that policy is. The next policy that I'd like to discuss with you is policy BBBB. And this one is just for discussion only. I'm not going to ask for approval on this policy tonight. This policy is this of course would be at your discretion and at your pleasure, and it is also optional. It's the possibility of adopting a student representative to the school board. The student would serve only in an advisory capacity and would not count towards a core to, or be allowed to vote. If the board chooses or wishes us to further this, we would need further guidance to establish procedure. And I'd like to share with you some of the suggestions that the VSBA has if you guys want to do this, what we would sort of need to put in place. Some of the suggestions that VSBA, the student, that they recommend: the student representative does not attend closed meetings. The school division provides the meeting agenda and other public materials to the student representative in advance of each open meeting. The student representative does not have access to confidential information, including student and personnel records. The student representative is expected to attend all regular open meetings and complete assignments for research and data collection when requested by the board. That's just some of the suggestions that VSBA has, and of course we can always add and or delete if we wanted to do that. And so I guess I just need some guidance if this is something that you guys wanted to entertain, and if it is, then we can work on gathering and sort of present this at a later time if we want to consider this as an option.
Well, I'll say this, that I've heard very good feedback from other school systems that have had student representation on the board. I think that it's worthy of us to consider.
Okay.
And I also feel like that, as we see, we got great kids and all the things they can do. And, one day it's going to be those guys that's sitting up here at some point in time and leading. I think given the opportunities to lead in such a way is important to give all students. And so I think it would be a good thing, and we should entertain the idea. But, of course, it's up to the rest of the board as well.
Okay. Okay.
And Mr. Hicks, if you would like, we could develop some proposed procedures and then share those with the board. But I agree with you. Those students there are going to be sitting here, and so we're just creating leaders for tomorrow. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity. And I, too, have heard wonderful things of school divisions that do that.
So for policy BBBB, we will work on some proposed guidelines and share those with the board. I do need to ask about policy JOD and JODF, if that is something that we want to consider to include. That is the one with the consent or the authorization to release student data and records. That was also an optional policy.
Board members, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Hicks.
Well, if I understand this right, both these policies are parents have to complete this paperwork in order for us to release any data to any organization.
That's correct.
It would not restrict the parents of any information, just releasing to other.
Correct. Correct.
And the board may want to have the school board attorney provide guidance on this policy before it's voted on it, if you like.
I think that's a good recommendation. I generally support. I think what was presented, but I don't think it'd be a bad idea to hear what Mr. Mullins has to say.
Okay. And that's the reason why I separated those two optional policies. So we can table that one as well and bring that one back when Mr. Mullins is able to look at it and give you guys some more guidance on that one. So any questions on the other policies that were the other 24 policies that I sent you? Okay. Hearing none on those, I would ask for a motion to approve those policies, excluding JOD, JODF, and BBBB.
So moved to approve those policies.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Thank you so much.
All right. So at this time, it brings us to board comments. Mr. Mullins?
I think it's like earlier Mr. Short said,
that Ridgeview is about diversity and success. And I don't think if we could have ever written a script play that we could have written anything to be better successful. And I'm just proud to watch all these children grow up and become educated here and to go out and do well in life.
Ditto. No, I agree. We mark some very fine student athletes here up on this stage and recognize them almost on a monthly basis, which is some huge accomplishments from these young men and women. And I'm anxious to look further into the student representative on the board thing and that some ideas and see what we can do. I think it would be, on the surface, I think that'd be a great thing. It would help us in some ways, and it's definitely going to help whatever student may sit on this board and get some good experience for future reference and, take stuff back and forth to the schools and open a line of communication. So I'm looking forward to hearing what we can come up with on that, and definitely pleased with the attendance and all the hard work that goes into that, and Mr. Owens gloating on his numbers. So, but that's good that our attendance is improving and continues to improve, and that's a good thing. So, thank you, sir.
It's always a fun night when we get to recognize accomplishments, and there were a lot. It seemed like that was most of the meeting tonight, but that's fine. I like those kind of meetings, and definitely want to thank Superintendent Ms. Robinson for making sure that we always do that. That's something I don't know how other school boards operate on that, but I think it's very important, as you could, for the parents as well and for the students to be able to come out and be publicly recognized for tremendous accomplishments, and very proud of all those students.
Well, it seems the whole meeting was good news from school, the whole thing, and it's very impressive, all these accomplishments of these young folks. I'm looking forward to, in a few months as we close out school, we're hearing about the rest of the accomplishments that they're going to achieve, and so we're very happy to see that. These accomplishments are also a lot of those coaches and those sponsors and administrative teams and mom and dad and everybody else. So everybody should be, it's just a great night to celebrate here at Ridgeview and everything those folks have done. We did mention Miss Kaiser has a future competition going to in Orlando, so I'd like to wish her the best of luck at that competition. And as all of our spring sports and other activities get kicked into gear, I wish them the best of luck on those seasons that they have. All right. Anybody got anything else? All right. Good deal. So, this time we're going to closed session. Closed session pursuant to Section 2.23711, Paragraph A of the Code of Virginia. There will be a closed session for the purpose of, 1, employment issues relating to discussion or consideration of specific individuals for employment, a special education teacher, director of special education, CTE, custodian, school nurse, part-time aides, coaches, substitutes, FMLA, retirements and resignations pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.23711A of the Code of Virginia. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Is there a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now out of closed session. Mr. Robinson, will you please read the certification?
Yes, sir. Whereas the Dickenson County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, now therefore be it resolved that the Dickenson County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only the public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Would you please certify?
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
Board members, are there any motions from closed session?
Mr. Chair, move that board approve employment recommendations as presented in closed session.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Do we have any further business to discuss? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to close the meeting? So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?